Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Travels Around My Heart. I don't have my heart with me, my little stone heart with me, because it's in France and I'm now in Bali. But I really wanted to do a post, although I'm really tired because I'm still jet lagged. But I wanted to talk to you about what it took to come back to Bali and do a little behind the scene, because it took, well, I had to face many challenges, and I could have abandoned many opportunities, but I decided not to. So I really wanted to share that with you, because I think it's very important, especially right now, because life is hard and we are faced with loads of challenges. I wanted to share this so that you don't abandon your travel dreams and that you really go for what you love. 2 years ago, I left Bali, and with no intention of staying away for that long. I wanted to come back in March, but of course COVID happened, and I wasn't quick enough to buy my ticket, so I got stuck in France with my parents, as you all know. So I got a message from a friend in September telling me that the country, Indonesia, was slowly reopening to people who wanted to come and prospect for business or invest in the community. So there was a route to coming back. It's very costly. If you want to know more about it, then tell me. But if you want to stay for a long time in Bali, then it really makes sense to invest in that. So I started my procedures and contacted an agent. Just want to say that it's going to be a bit of a long one, so bear with me, because so many things happened, and I think it's important that I share them with you. My agent, and it was right at the beginning of Bali opening up again, made a mistake and issued me paperwork where the visa had to be issued in Berlin rather than Paris. I initially didn't see that because it was written in Bahasa, Indonesian. And I then, spent money, went to Paris, got to the French embassy. They were very stroppy over there. I think they had become French, definitely, or not French, I mean Parisian, because Parisians are very well known to be stroppy. And then was told, no, you can't get your visa here because the paperwork needs to be done in Berlin. So immediately got in touch with my agent, who proposed that I fly to Berlin. And I thought, no, I cannot do that, because I'm going to Greece to celebrate my 50th birthday. So that's a near impossibility. So I go to Greece and thought, okay, things must happen. This is okay. I still have time to make things happen. My flight ticket, of course, is booked in order to get the visa. And I still have 1 week to get things organized before I go. I come back and find out that my flight ticket has been cancelled, which actually was a blessing, because it took me a week to find someone in Berlin who, well, not actually in Berlin, but in the south of Germany, who could take all my paperwork to the embassy in Berlin. Now, I could have sent my papers, but I was very reluctant to send my papers to the embassy, because you never know what can happen, and my passport is like my most precious thing. It's my only way of identity, and it's my ticket to the entire world. So I was very wary of doing that. I very luckily belong to a WhatsApp group of people that are going back to Bali. So I got in touch with this guy who is really lovely, Mario, and who accepted to take all my papers to the embassy, because he was also getting his visa. So I DHL my papers to Mario. Mario takes the papers to the embassy. And we find out on that day that the the Indonesian embassy in Berlin has added another piece of paperwork that needs to be given, which is a health certificate. And I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. Let's do this. Call my doctor. I live in a small village. I can't get to my doctor because I actually don't drive. And he says, okay, I'm going to do it for you. So he completes it, scans it, sends it to me. I then, forward it to the embassy. in Germany to find out on Tuesday morning that through Mario that actually the paperwork should be in English or in German. So I thought, okay, what can I do? Great, let's create a brand new document in as a PDF and translate all the things that are in French into English, send that back to my doctor and ask him to complete that. Of course, that's Tuesday. Tuesday, my doctor doesn't work, so I have to wait until Wednesday, get the paper back from him, and then email that to the German embassy, to the Indonesian embassy in Germany. And my email bounces back. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? So try to call them. I called so many times, but everyone was saying that no one was answering the phone anyway at the embassy in Berlin, which happens to be absolutely correct. So I go to Mario, ask him to forward the email, and every hour I keep on sending the email, and then it goes through. Friday, I get the visa. I am so happy, I am so relieved. So I organize a DHL back from Germany to France. The courier shows up on Monday at Mario, picks up the letter. On Tuesday morning, I find out from Mario that DHL has issued the wrong barcode and that the courier cannot send that passport back to me. So I need to get a new barcode. So I call DHL Germany. Thank God I studied German for 11 years because that was very helpful. It took me an entire week. I spoke to 15 people to get the issue resolved. I cannot say I'm impressed with the customer service at DHL. Eventually, my envelope gets back to France on Friday. I have my COVID test on the following Tuesday, and I must have my passport to do my COVID test. So I phone DHL, and they say, we don't work at the weekend. Thank you, France. You will have your passport on Monday. I'm like, 100% I'm having it on Monday? 100%, guaranteed. On Monday, comes 2 o'clock. I get this gut feeling that nothing is going to happen. So I phone DHL France, and they tell me that the courier decided not to deliver my passport on Monday, but on Tuesday. And I thought, how can you do this? So on the Tuesday, I have that appointment, yes? So I tell a big fat lie, and I say, my flight is tomorrow afternoon. I leave home at midday, and I need my passport by midday, otherwise I'm not flying, and otherwise you have to give me all my money back and pay for my flight. So Tuesday comes, and I call them in the morning because now I don't trust them anymore anyway. And they say, it's on its way, and then it's on its way, and then, oh no, but actually yes. Oh, it's just been put in the truck. And, oh my God. And the letter arrives at 10 to midday. And I have to say, the courier gives me the most feeble of excuses, telling me that he totally got mixed up with the date, and he thought that yesterday was the day before. So I have been a teacher for 20 years, and I have to say this is one of the worst excuses I have heard in my history of teaching. I have my passport. I am so happy. I go to do my COVID test on Tuesday. Everything goes really smoothly. I'm supposed to get my results on Thursday, and I get nothing. So I think, okay, what is going on here? Let's call and let's find out, what's going on from the hospital. They tell me, well, you should have received all your paperwork. We don't understand what's going on. That never ever happens. I say, well, but I have, I didn't receive any SMS. And they, and I said, I've got a British phone. Oh, they would not have sent an SMS to a British phone number. Well, you took my British phone number, so why you didn't tell me? And you also have my email address. But they didn't send me an email. So it took about 5 people, 2 or 3 hours of haggling, and I found a solution for the lab to fax, not to email, because we don't email in France, to fax my results to my doctor. I then, in between, of course, had to create a brand new document in English to go through all the controls that says that I'm negative. So I bring all these documents to my doctor with my negative test. She signs everything. I'm happy, ready to go. So what I also, don't mention, because these are all the practical things and you can find solution, and they just, they get in your face and you think, I can't believe what's happening, but you deal with them one by one. But what was happening as well at the same time is that my mother got sick on the last week that I was in France. And my mother and I, we're never sick. We've been raised to not be sick. I don't know if some of you are like that. That was an option. And I saw my mother getting so bad. My grandmother is turning 100 in a couple of weeks, sorry, and I had the feeling that my mother had transformed into my grandmother. It was very painful to see. She got shingles, and she got shingles in her ear, on her face, and inside her mouth. The doctors, she went to the hospital, they couldn't find anything to ease her pain. She wasn't eating, she was speaking incredibly slowly, she couldn't do anything. My father is a typical old generation guy who thinks that women ought to do everything in the house, and he cannot do anything. Absolutely useless. So I spent my last week preparing, doing everything with the business, having to face those challenges, and also having to do all the dishes and having to do the cleaning, things that my mother usually does. But the worst thing was to hang in there and to think that I am going to Bali, and I have to reconcile the excitement of going to Bali, which I really wanted to feel. But seeing my mother being like this was really making me feel so sad and so guilty as well of going for my dreams. So I had to do a lot of work on being focused and on being there for her and on making things happening for me, at the same time, and always think, I am going to Bali, and everything is going to be fine. The night before I left, she finally got access to an expert that found out medication for her to ease her pain. But, the sad thing is that I had to say goodbye to her on Saturday morning, not being able to kiss her, not being able to hug her, because she's not allowed any human contact, because shingles is very is contagious. So I wanted to share that with you because we all have dreams and we all face challenges, and we can only go as high as we go low, which means that I really hope that my stay in Bali is going to be truly amazing after all the challenges that I have faced. But don't lose hope. Really focus on your dreams, because even if they appear to be impossible, there is a way out when you commit. Commitment is the thing that is the most important. It's the most important in relationships. It's the most important, thing when you commit to yourself and to your dreams. And when you commit, it's hard work, but it's also immensely rewarding.